So as a special education teacher, by the time I'm working with students, they have been identified as a student with an exceptionality, and we know that they need specific supports in order to be successful at school. A lot of the students who I work with, we would fall under that umbrella of having behavior. And that's been historically true since I started my career 11 years ago. What that looks like on a day-to-day basis for me is that I'm also responsible for their academic education in supplementing and helping to kind of help them make progress in all areas. And so they might see me for reading and math. We may be, the position I'm currently in, we work on a lot of functional skills as well. And we're also working through behavior situations when they pop up, which is very frequently. What that can look like for me is I might be working with a small group of students. We're doing a reading lesson, and I get notified that one of the students who I support is in a classroom and having we call it a crisis, or that they need support. So then what that looks like for me is I need to find somebody, usually it's a para, if all of my staff are able to be there that day, to step in, to take over that teaching for me so I can go and respond to that student. And when I'm going to, in that moment, they are highly dysregulated. Because the behavior is, we look at behavior as communication, and is also stemming from an unmet need. And so when I'm entering that classroom, the things I might see are a student who has maybe turned over furniture, destroyed things in the classroom. They may be physically targeting the teacher or other students. And so when I'm going in there to that situation, I'm trained in safe crisis management as part of our district. And so I will take over and run that situation of, okay, how can I keep everybody safe and help this child who is having intense difficulty, help them get back to where they can learn at school. And also preserve their dignity, because when we have students who are having difficulty like this, no child wants to come to school and flip their desk in front of their friends and have an absolute meltdown. That's coming from a place of desperation. And I can only speak to my experience, and my experience has all been elementary. So they're still, we're meeting them at a very basic level of when they're little. And so it's, we can kind of go through, okay, what are our feelings? What can we do? We have all sorts of things that we're able to teach them to help in those moments. The area that I would have the most concern is that our caseloads are growing. More and more students, there's a higher percentage of students who are getting identified for needing special education. I have my own theories as to why that is, but I think it's valid. We are not seeing an equal growth of teachers or support professionals. And so I go to my job every day. I wouldn't come back to my job if I didn't love it. And I consider myself to be a highly trained professional who is able to deal with these situations. That's just what I do. And I find joy in it, and I take great pride in what I do. I'm tired. And I say that because I go and I do the very best I can for as many kids as I can. There's not enough of me to go around. There's not enough people who can act as an extension of me, whether they're paras or aides. And so I sit at district trainings and I'm part of different groups, and I look around the table, and the people who I entered my district with 10 years ago, no one's left. It's just me. Everyone else has left, and most of them have left education completely. And that's concerning for me, because when there's none of us left, what happens to the kids? And so my concern with student behavior is that the need is there, and we have to figure out how to respond to it. But if we don't have enough people who are able to respond to it, there won't be people left to do so. And all of our students deserve their education and access to education. So thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Kayla,